This is Carol with Carol Joes. Today I am going to show you how to make a stretch bracelet using the enamel charms that we have at caroljoes.com. I think this one is so adorable. It is a fishbowl with a little pink fish just swimming around in there. We're going to use this one to create the bracelet. What you're going to need will be some beads. Today I selected a 5.5 to 6 millimeter size bead that is a column. They are the light blue cat eye. We have the charm. I have some spacer beads that are 3 millimeter in size. We have some spacer daisies. I will need one split ring to add that charm to the bracelet. I've got my already cut stretch cord. I did this the length of my bead mat. To finish it off, I will use Hypo Cement Glue. I'm going to move that off camera so we have some more room on here. For a tool, I am going to need a bead stopper, and then I will also need, and I got to find it here, I forgot to grab them, so just give me a moment, a chain nose plier and my split ring tool. Everything has blue handles in here, so trying to find it some days is not easy with all the other blues. Here we go. That is my split ring tool. I'm going to use the tools here first. I grab my split ring and I open it with that little divot down on the split ring tool, and you'll see that you get a little bit of an opening. You want to be back just a little bit more so that you can allow the charm to go on there. There we go. And then turn that around, and there we've got it on there. So that is what I need to use for those tools. Now I can get those off my mat and have more room. Next up, I'm going to take my bead stopper. I'm going to open it by pinching together these two circles that open up these spring wires. Put my stretch cord in there and then release it, and it'll hold it. Now I've got to figure out what my pattern is going to be. You can use a bead board if you like. I just happen to usually lay out my patterns on my bead mat, and I don't always utilize a bead board. I'm wondering if I want to go like every 3 with that, and maybe in between each one of these we'll do the daisy spacer. That might be my pattern. Let's see what it looks like. So we're going to put on our bead, our main bead, and then I'm going to drop that daisy spacer. His center is not completely out, so we'll do another one there. There we go. Grab this bead. We're grabbing the main bead and then the daisy spacer. The blue bead, and now I'm grabbing the spacer bead. So this is what it will look like. And we'll just keep repeating that pattern. I kind of like that. I really do like it. If you go to the link in the description, I will have linked there these charms if you like them, so that you can grab them for yourself. There is another set of that. I'm dropping beads. We're going to do this in a real-time manner so you can see truly what it is like and not sped up. If this you find uninteresting to watch me put the beads on the cord, you can just speed it up, fast forward through it. Trying to find the hole. There it is. Now we have 3 sets of that pattern on here. I am going to grab my ruler. This is just to get an idea of where we're at with 3 sets. Each set is about an inch. So we've got 3 inches. The inside diameter will take just a little bit of that out of the way, but not too much. So we're going to continue on. Once we get the 4th set on, I will then put the charm on the bracelet. There we got 4 sets on. We're going to grab the charm. We're going to put that on using that split ring. The reason why I use a split ring to add my charms to my bracelets, now let me see how that's going to lay. I want to make sure it's going to, yep, that'll work. Yep. The reason why I use split rings is that a jump ring can open and I don't want these to fall off. So more times than not, just for security, I use split rings instead of the jump ring. So when I was talking about the inner diameter, when we go to make our circle, half the size of the bead is in the inside of your circle. So even though I measure 8 inches, the diameter of my bracelet will not be 8 inches. It will be more along the lines, because this is a smaller bead, of about 7 3/4 inches. There are cones and such that you can get that you can then measure them to get an accurate measurement for the size of the bracelet. I do not have the cone on my table today, so I cannot show that to you. But that is something to help out so that you know you're going to lose some of the length of the bracelet when you measure it flat versus when it's in a circle. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're getting closer. I'm going to do a total of 8 sets on the bracelet, or it's 8 sets of the pattern is what I want to say. And that'll get us to a length of around 8 inches, but a 7 3/4 inch bracelet. There we go. I'm going to move that down. Last 3 of that one, 1 of that one, and then 2 of these. There we go. And I am going to measure it before I tie it, just to make sure that I am in the range that I want to be in. Whoop, dropped it. There we go. There is our flat bracelet. Gonna measure this. Well, he is a 7 1/2. So then if I do that right now, This one would be more about a 7¼ inch, which is a little bit smaller than the most average size wrist. So I am going to do one more. If you notice, he is not a complete bead, so we're not going to use him. We'll use this one. So I'm glad we measured it, or else we would have had a small size bracelet here. And everybody's wrists are different sizes. So you need to figure out, if you're making this for yourself, what is yours. The way to do that is take a piece of string or twine or something, put it around your wrist where you normally naturally want to wear your bracelet, cut it off, and that would be the flat length without the inner diameter of the beads. All right, let's measure this now and see where we're at. We're at 8¼ So this one may be around an 8-inch bracelet, but that's fine. It's a little bit larger than normal, but we're okay with that. Now, to finish this off, I create an X here. I'm going to move these two out of the way so you guys can have some more room up here to see. I take my left one and put it over the right, and you create this X. I hold that with my thumb and pointer finger. Take this one on the top right side, bring it through the center of the circle. I bring it close together, but I'm not getting it extremely tight, but I'm getting it close together. As you see here, there is a little bit of a gap, but it's close. I take my right side, go over the left. I've created another X there. I'm holding this now with more fingers to hold everything. Take the left side, bring it through the hole that we created, grab the two ends and pull it tight together. So now we've got it. Now I'm going to check to make sure that my knot is going to stay. I grab a hold of each side of the bead and I pull on it, and my knot is not moving. I glue my bracelets. Not everybody glues. If you're a gluer, I use the Hypo Cement Glue, the GS Hypo Cement Glue. And I just put a dab right there. I lay it down. I actually let my bracelets dry overnight before I cut the ends off. That way I know that Hypo Cement Glue is nice and dry before I'm making any movements around my around my knot. I am trying to get off camera the tip of the glue with the lid back on. There is a little piece of wire that goes in there, so it keeps it from drying in the tube as it comes out. And this is usually the hardest part of stretchy bracelets, is getting that in there. There we go. We got it in there. So really, truly, I leave it overnight. Then what I do is the next day, I take a pointed scissor like this, and I get in there and I cut as close to that knot as possible to cut off as much of that stretch cord that I have. And then some people will hide the knot inside a bead. Some people do not. That is a preference, and you get to choose what you want to do. But that is how you create a stretchy bracelet with using an enamel charm. Very easy, very, really, I think just adds a little bit of wow factor or a pop to every bracelet that you make. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you like what you saw, please subscribe and join me on my lives, or watch any videos that are put up. If you do the notification bell, you'll be notified when I am live and when I post videos. Have a wonderful day.